What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey, everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, all right, we're coming back to Lightbringer. Yes, indeed, Lightbringer fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Krauser, and Krauser wanted to see me react to this song by Lightbringer called Love You.
Look at that smile. He's at the pulpit.
I love you.
He's genuine, isn't he?
Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Krauser. Aha, okay, I see what you did there. And the video has 12,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Lightbringer, love you. Heart emoji, live. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
So the entire song so far has been that double time feel. snare hits on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I've always said this about when you're playing with double time feel, putting the snare hits on the ands is always going to give the feeling. It doesn't actually do this, but it gives it the feeling of a little bit of an extra push, a little bit of a rush. It's all an illusion, but it's very effective nonetheless. It's definitely present here. The chord progression sounds good so far. Everything makes sense. The modulations when they come into play make sense. It helps differentiate between different parts of the song, so I'm not mad at that. Musicianship across the board sounds just fine. Got no issues with anything I'm hearing from bass, guitar, drums, keyboard. Nothing. Everything sounds good. Vocals, Buki sounds good. The vibrato's under control, which is really nice. Kind of interesting to hear her getting down in the lower registers, which is always nice to hear from her. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it sounds really good. Live performance looks good so far. Have they checked off all 5 boxes? Hold on. Stage presence, yes. Stage energy, yes. Stage interaction, ooh. I don't think we've seen any yet. Crowd interaction we've seen. We've seen that from multiple people, not just Fuki, but several of the members have been interacting with the crowd, which is always good to see. Showmanship. Oh. Don't think we've really seen any showmanship yet either. That's tough to say. In the production. Not really. So okay. So out of the 6, we've hit 3 of them for sure. The other 3, not yet, but we still have plenty of time. We still got well over 3.5 minutes to go. So I'm sure we will hit all 6 boxes. Well, maybe not all 6. I don't know about production, but we'll at least hit the main 5. I'm very confident in that. We'll see. Time will tell. Let's get back into this, shall we? Oh, instrument's coming off. Walk off stage. Uh-oh. I think that might be the last song. Oh, you have to make more noise than that. Come on. You want them to come back out and do encores, right? You gotta be making more noise than that. My goodness. Yeah, I have a feeling that was the last song of the set. I need to think about this. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Lightbringer with a live performance of Love You. This was a request from Krauser. Okay, let's just get to the score. Let's just get to it. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.6. Yep, 7.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.6. What does that mean? Well, a 7.6 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good presentation. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. Yeah, B is in boy. B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.6, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Can we be honest with each other here? I think we've known each other long enough that we can be honest with each other, right? Okay. This was a really good overall performance. Okay, it was. It was really good. Would I say it was great? No. I have seen better from Lightbringer than this. Okay, even by their own standards, I have seen and heard better than this. Now, that is not to say that this was a bad job. It was not a bad job, not by a stretch. But at the same time, I just cannot, in good conscience, put this up in the 8s where a lot of their other stuff has been, because quite frankly, those other songs, those other performances that I gave 8s to blew this one out of the water. Okay. The songwriting, it was good. It was good. It sounded just fine. It was a really well-written song, well-constructed, well-arranged. It sounded just fine. Chordal progression made perfect sense. The melodic lines being carried within the vocals made perfect sense. The harmonies, when they would happen within the instrumentation, either instruments with instruments or instruments with vocals, sounded just fine. I had no issue with it. Okay, none. Again, I've heard better from them. I've heard more impressive. I've heard cleaner. I've heard more creative, okay, than what we got here. This kind of sounded commercial, if I'm being honest. It definitely had kind of a commercial approach and a commercial sound. Now, I'm not saying that, they're going and selling out. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm looking for ways that I could raise this up into the 8s with all the other performances I've heard from them that have been up that high, and I can't do it. Across the board, the musicianship from everybody sounded just fine. It sounded really good from everybody. Again, I've heard better from them, but that's not to say that they did a bad job. I'm just saying I've heard better than what we got with this performance, but this performance still sounded just fine. The guitar playing was clean, okay? No issues there. The drumming was clean. No issues there. Keyboard and bass, no issues there. Special shout out to Hibiki on the bass for some of those lines that he was doing in unison with the guitars. They were playing the same notes at the same time, playing syncopated. It sounded clean. I liked it, okay? Mouse keyboard playing, doing a fine job of filling out the sound. No issues there. Spooky's vocals, I was thrilled to hear that she did not go crazy with the vibrato like she has done before in the past. And it was really interesting to hear her singing in lower register at times, which was really nice. It was a nice change of pace from what you normally hear from her on the channel. So I got no issue with anything I heard. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't have any issue with anything we saw either. I've seen better from them, okay? Let's go down the checklist, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Stage presence, check. Yeah, they've got that. I've never questioned the stage presence there. The stage presence is always there. Stage energy, yes, it was covered. It was there. It's a little bit tougher when you're on the smaller stage, but they still managed to do it. They still managed to pull it off, so not mad at it. Stage interaction, okay, they did check that box. They did. It was a little on the casual side, but they did it frequently. In the second half of the song, we saw them interacting, members of the band interacting with each other quite a bit. So that was nice to see. It was kind of casual, walking by each other, nodding and smiling at each other, and stuff like that. But it's still being done. That's the important thing. So it is getting the check. Crowd interaction. Oh yeah, check. Absolutely. No questions about that. I mean, Fuki was doing it constantly. I did see Hibiki interact with the crowd a couple times, pointing to the crowd. That was nice. Not the drummer, keyboardist, Mal. I saw him pointing out to the crowd a couple times. Anything you can do to interact with the crowd, it's always going to be of benefit. So, yeah, I mean, they got the check for that. Showmanship. Okay. I'm going to give it the check, but it's a little bit of a weak check. I see much better showmanship from them than this. This was done, the showmanship that was done, it was done very lightly, and I wouldn't say casually. It wasn't that, but it was almost like there were no surprises. It was every time Fuki would get up on the eagle block, it was, I hate to say it was kind of expected because we could feel the vocals were going to come back. So of course she was going to jump up on the eagle block to sing. So it was, there were no surprises about it. It was all done by the book. So it is getting the check, just not an impressively done check. Production. I mean, the lighting did look designed. So I guess we'll give it the check for that. It's a weak check though, but that's okay. Production, it's always been bonus points. Unless you're a production-based band, then your production better be on point. Lightbringer doesn't strike me as a production-based band. So, but in any case, the live show, it did help a little bit, like maybe 0.2, maybe. The song on its own, I'm seriously looking at 7.4, maybe, possibly 7.5. But I'm really leaning more toward that 7.4 range. And so the live show did help. It did help, but it didn't help as much as other live shows that I've seen from them have done in the past. So that's how we're ending up at that 7.6. I'm not mad at anything we saw or heard. Everything sounded just fine. All I'm saying is we've seen better on the channel. So that's how we're ending up at a really good score of 7.6. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.6, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.